Hey there, welcome back. This is a follow-up episode from our last mailbag that we had. Christopher out there requested my personal the way that I complete a Rubik's Cube. So we actually have my Rubik's Cubes right here, and I'm going to show you how I do it. Now, there is a YouTube video that actually I followed to learn how to do this, so I'm going to try my best to link to that YouTube video down here at the bottom. Feel free to check them out. There's a slightly different way that I remember it from how they do it, and I think the language that I use in one or two different spots helps me out a little bit as far as how to complete a Rubik's Cube. Now, I have a couple different kinds of speed cube. I have the 2x2, and I have the 3x3. The 3x3 is the one that you're used to. The 2x2 is different. It's not necessarily easier, because there are some different algorithms that you end up having to learn. So there's tons of times I was working on this, and people that knew how to do the 3x3 would borrow it and would be stumped, and I would get a chance to complete that when they couldn't. But at the same time, they could do the 3x3 and I couldn't. So first what we're going to do is we're going to scramble up this cube. Now the reason they call it a speed cube is because if you notice, the corners are kind of rounded off where there's these little gaps in the corners, and that makes it so that if something is slightly askew, you're still going to be able to turn it. That way you're not focused on every single little turn about, okay, is it everything absolutely perfectly lined up before I can turn, okay, now is that perfectly lined up before, and you can just mix things up. You can just make your moves. It makes life so much easier. I forget how much I paid. I actually bought both of these cubes at the same time. It was not terribly expensive. If this is something that you wanted to invest in, you could do so pretty easily. I got these off of Amazon, and it was Prime, so there was free shipping. There's wonderful things across the board. So now that we have this thing fairly well scrambled, first thing that we do is we're going to find the center colors. Now the center block, that's kind of what we're working with. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to be trying to get all of the white squares onto this white side, but they have to be in the correct order. So we're actually going to start on the opposite side, which is the yellow side, and get the what they call the white cross. You want these four squares right here to be white, and you can do that by just kind of finding them on the side. There's one over there, so if I twist that and get that into place, oh, I see another one there, so if I twist that, there's that, oh, there's the other one, oh, look at that. It just happened to fall into place. It might take you a little bit more moving around, but there we go. Once you've got that, we're going to move these to the opposite side where the white one is, but we have to make sure that the color on the side of those white sides match what the center part is on the other side. So since we have red here, we're going to keep spinning till we get to the red, and then once we do that, we're going to rotate this 180 degrees. Give it a spin. So that puts that white side on with the white side piece onto the white side, onto the white face, and it matches the red with the red. So we kind of have that going across. So we keep doing that. We have orange here, so we're going to keep spinning until we get to the orange. Spin that 180 degrees. So now we have the red going across and the orange going across. We do that with the other ones. Blue matches, give it a spin, and the green matches, give it a spin. So on this side we have our white cross and another piece. We're not sure if that's in the right place yet, and all of the red, the green, the orange, and the blue all match up. Now, if you notice, this other white piece here, that piece isn't blue, that piece isn't orange, so that's not actually where that's going to go. So now we're going to put these four white pieces where they go. Now, if you look at the side of your cube, if you find any in the corners here, that's going to be where you end up wanting them to go. So we're going to move this piece into place, but we see that it's blue on one side and orange on the other. So if that's going to go on between blue and orange, okay, we've got blue here and orange here, which means it's going to go on this side. So Uh, Essentially what you're going to end up doing is you're going to shift that piece up into this position. So that's why we're saying, okay, the blue and the orange, when that shifts up, that's going to go between the blue and orange. What you do is you take that bottom piece, you rotate it 180 degrees, you shift it down, rotate it 180 degrees again, and then back up. Now we've got our blue and orange next to the blue and orange and the white piece on the white piece. Huzzah! We continue looking at the bottom. Now we have a orange and green piece. That would go, I see orange and green. So again, we're going to pivot it 180 degrees, bring it down 180 degrees, back up. And now we've got our orange and green in place there. There we do. We have another one down there. That is the red and blue. So let's see here. We've got red and blue. So since it's going to go up there, spin it 180 degrees, bring it down 180 degrees, back up, and we've got all that but the one piece left. And that's actually just happens to be in the wrong place there. So we're going to kind of work in the kind of the reverse idea, where we're going to bring that down, spin it at all, even just a little bit, and then bring it back up, and that just moves that piece into a new position. It actually just happens to be right where we want it, just right back up there. So we're going to spin it 180 degrees, bring that side down, spin it 180 degrees, bring that side back up, and there we go. We not only have that full white side, but we also have that top row is matching on each piece. It's actually kind of a lowercase t, or not a lowercase t, it's a small t, because also the middle piece matches for each side, and we are well on our way to solving that cube. Now things get a little trickier from here. So we're going to try to get these sides in the correct spot. So in order to do that, we are going to look at the bottom and find the side pieces, not the corner pieces, but the side pieces that do not have any yellow on them whatsoever. This one has yellow, so we're not using that. Really, I think any of these other sides work out. Now, if that orange piece had a yellow on that side, we also would not really be wanting to touch that. But since that does not, we're going to use that. So we're going to spin that blue until it matches up with the rest of the blue. Kind of gets us a big T right there. And I may speak less for this next part because my hands have kind of remembered that there's a muscle memory of sorts. So we're going to... So the other piece of that is orange, which means we want to put that up on the orange side. We're going to move this to right there. Okay, listen, I don't know where I ended up cutting this out because, Christopher, you have broken me. You broke me hard. You didn't mean to, but, okay, so these things have become such a muscle memory thing for me that my hands know how to do it, but now when I have to explain it, I've kind of forgotten how to do it. I got to a certain point here in the cube in which not only was it becoming difficult to explain, but as I was explaining it, I was actually getting it wrong. I was getting frustrated. I shut off all the cameras and equipment. I tried to go back and just no pressure solve one of these by myself, and I couldn't do it anymore because I was thinking so hard about explaining it to you guys. I actually went back onto YouTube, refound the video that I learned from, which was not only hard to find, which was terrifying, because I could have lost it. I could have gotten to the point where I wouldn't even have been able to relearn the spots that I'd found. But even now that I've gone through and now that I've found it again, I'm not entirely sure that I did it exactly the way that they said before, but apparently I am going to now, and it's going to be pretty effective. So, getting back to it, we still have our white side, we still have our lowercase t's, or not lowercase, our small t's across everything, and we're trying to move these pieces into place. So yes, we have the green, there's red on the other side that has to go onto the red side. Alright, so which means that we are going to turn that away, we are going to turn that side down, we're going to turn that corner into place, and then turn it back up. And in doing so, now there's just this one little piece that we need to solve, which is fine. That is normal. We just turn that 180 degrees, turn that down, spin it back into place, and back up. And that takes our red corners and puts them where they should be. I am way happier about this than I need to be, because it's like if you dropped $100 bill somewhere and you're panicking because that's $100 and you need that for things like food and whatever, and then you search around frantically and then you find it again, and it's something you had all along. You haven't really gained anything. It's just you haven't lost something. All right, orange needs to go over on the orange side. So we turn it away, we turn that side down, put things into place, we turn it back up. Now, again, we have this, the one missing white piece, there it is. So we turn that 180 degrees, we put it down, turn it right back into place and back up. And now we have our piece is where it should be. In fact, we have the top 2 layers of each side and the white is solved and we are back on track. Now we have to worry about getting this. This we're going to get to, we're searching to try to get a yellow cross, kind of like we had from the other side. But we can't do it the other way because we will mess up all the rest of our cube. So what we are, let's see here. There's a few different patterns that you're kind of looking for. I don't have any of them right now. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to make one of these algorithmic moves to try to see if we can get one of the patterns we're looking for. Okay, psych, I did end up messing it back up, but I fixed it again, and I remembered where we're going from here. So we're going to use one of the algorithms here. So again, we have the white side down. We're searching to try to get a yellow cross here. Now, this is one of the things that I believe we happen to be looking for, but if you don't have either a yellow line across, or if you don't have this particular shape, then just run the algorithm until you get one of them, and just kind of keep doing it, and eventually it'll shuffle some things in place. So what we're going to do with this particular, if you have this pattern of yellow squares, you do want it to go from the center down to the left side there. Here's hoping. So what we're going to do is we're going to imagine that's facing on the table, that is resting there. So you would say this side is facing you. So we're going to take this face, twist it clockwise, and then we're going to take the top, give it a spin clockwise, the right side down, and then we're going to give the top a counterclockwise and the right side up, and then we're going to twist the face back into place. And as we do, we get that wonderful yellow cross. Now, if you got the yellow bar instead, it's actually very similar. You know how I gave it the face a twist, and then I twisted the top and then the side? Well, instead of the top and the side, you go with the side and then the top. And it should do the same thing where you get a yellow cross. And if not, just keep repeating this algorithm, because every time you do this, you're not messing up any of the rest of that cube. And we get you there. Now that we've got this cube here, or the cross, I don't remember exactly the pattern that we're looking to get from here, but I do remember what you do with your hands. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a lot of twisting of this side, and we're going to do a lot of moving of this top plane as well. So we're going to go, all right, you ready for it? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to twist this forward, spin down, twist it back, spin down, spin forward, then down, down, back. And that's the move. Now, we're gonna do this again. Anytime you have the little fishy with the tail going up, you always want them facing down into the left-hand corner. We're gonna do this 2 more times, so that'll give you a good rhythm for everything. So again, we spin this side forward, flint down, twist it back, spin it again, twist it forward, spin, spin, and back. Now once again we have our little fishy, so we're going to make sure he's facing down to the bottom left. If you see this yellow square right here next to where that fishy is, that means you're only going to have to do this 1 more time and you will get that side perfectly yellow. Ready? Twist forward, spin, twist back, spin, twist forward, spin, spin, back. Yeah, so now we have our perfect yellow side, we have our perfect white side, and we have, oh so close with all those other pieces. So, next, okay, so if you notice how we have just one piece missing, like the red and everything else is fine, but that one piece isn't? And then the rest of these are not quite so good. There's not as many pieces. Yes, with that piece in the middle, you want that facing to the back, behind you. You're still going to be facing this this yellow side, but you want that good side to the back. Ready? So we're going to spin this down clockwise, down, rotate the top across, up, counterclockwise, down again, spin the top, spin the side, and that helps us once again. So we've got to the point where we've got now just those top center pieces are the only ones that are messed up. We are so close, ladies and gentlemen. We are so close. You're even closer than I am, because I'm probably going to have to make a bunch of edits to this. If you happen to have any of them that are completely solved, put those to the back once again. Spin the right side, and then we're going to rotate the top clockwise, side clockwise, top clockwise, and then side counterclockwise, top counterclockwise, side counterclockwise, top counterclockwise, side counterclockwise, and then the top goes clockwise once more, and you twist it into place. And when you do that, you end up solving the cube like that. This has been way more difficult than I could have possibly anticipated. This is ridiculous. This is the amount of time that it has taken me to do this tutorial. I don't even think I'm making it better for anyone. I'm going to keep this up. I'm going to edit this as best as I can. I'm going to put it up for you, Christopher. If you're looking to solve a Rubik's Cube, go to the link that I'm posting down here. These people, the Incredicuber, they have a really good method of solving a Rubik's Cube. It's the one that I learned, and I would recommend, if you're doing it, learn it in phases. Learn the first part that you're doing, then scramble it and redo that first part again and again. Once you have that like set, you're happy with it, then go ahead and learn the next part. That way you do the first part, you do the second part, scramble it again. Do the first part and the second part, scramble it again. That way you keep running that first part and you're adding the second part. That way you're not overwhelming your head with the different algorithms for you to solve a cube. And keep on doing that, or once you're comfortable with those other pieces, add the third part, the fourth part. That's how I ended up learning it, and in the end, it's actually pretty cool. It's turned something that is a puzzle, and it truly is a puzzle. If you were really trying to figure out, okay, how do I get one thing into one place without messing everything up? If you had to create these algorithms, it would be a giant pain in the butt, and it would take you a long time. But once you learn the algorithms, it takes something that's so hard, and it just kind of turns it into less of a puzzle and more of a fidget. And so I've actually used this several times when I'm trying to think about something else. But at the same time, I'm trying not to cycle on the same things over and over. I'm trying not to keep my brain occupied by that one little thing. I'll use this as a way to keep my hands busy. Okay. Now I remember the method that I was using, and I'm not sure why I learned it slightly differently, but my hands are picking back up on that muscle memory, and it's probably taking me even more steps than I need to, but at this point it's so set and ingrained in my head that it would almost take more effort to relearn the correct version, which probably takes fewer steps. Don't know, don't care, we'll get there in the end. Yeah, okay, here we go. Yeah. What is this? Oh, so much better, so much easier. Let's see. And back to solved Cubeville. Whew! That feels so much nicer, so much better. It's like my brain's not broken anymore. It's like suddenly I can do all the things that I wanted to be able to do after all. And I messed that up. Probably all the thinking. Some similar algorithms from the other cube, but not quite the same. Woo! So, Christopher. Thank you for writing your letter. Man, that was so insanely hard for me. But we're still going to put this up for you. And if anybody else has any strange questions about life, things I do, things I don't do, or anything else, feel free to write them in at rich@richdoesathing.com, because you never know what we might take an entire episode to try to cover. Thank you for joining me. Hit that subscribe button. Check me out on the social media. And next time, keep yourself busy.